a question and answer video and an about me video because although I've been on YouTube for a pretty long time, I haven't done either of those before for some reason. In fact, as of today, which is September 5th, 2024, if you're watching anytime later, it is actually my 2nd anniversary of being on YouTube. And coincidentally, I also reached 500 plus subscribers recently. So, although people usually do these things for 100 subscribers, I figured it was about time. So, here we go. First of all, I'm going to talk about the Speedpaint. This is actually the most random drawing I've ever done because although this is supposed to be about my channel, I had no idea what to do for my channel. But I guess I liked how it turned out, so that's good. Now for the first question. Besides Tails or Sonic, I love how you had to specify that, by the way. Which other Sonic characters do you like or dislike? Dear Sonic fans, I deeply apologize in advance of what I'm going to say. Starting with the ones I dislike, I will say it's kind of hard for me to dislike an animal somehow. It honestly really depends on their relationship with the characters, because I honestly kind of dislike most of the girls they try to pair Sonic and Tails up with in the comics and the shows and whatever, but that's just mainly because I'm not creative and I do not like pairing different species together. And I dislike most of the villains, but that's because they're villains. Of course, I have my other reasons, but that's the main one. So, everyone watching this, feel free to discount my opinion on any characters I dislike. Other than those examples, I don't think I dislike any of the characters. I may dislike certain aspects about them, but I don't dislike them as characters. So, although some things about the characters do make me sad or unhappy or whatever, I don't think I dislike any more of the characters. Okay, so let's take a break to talk about the Speedpaint again. I have just been writing down some random facts about me. At first it was in no particular order, but I ended up seeing the kind of order they could be in, so I ended up placing them in that order. But now for question 2. For my favorite color, I like pink the best, but I also like blue and orange, and the specific shade of lavender. And as for Pokemon, it's honestly just not really my thing, but I won't judge you or anything for liking it. As for why Tails is my favorite, I'm actually going to leave this one for a bit later on in the video, as I'm actually going to do with all the other Tails questions. And do I prefer digital or traditional art? I actually don't really have a preference for either, as I like doing both of them exactly the same amount, kind of. I just usually do mostly digital for my videos because it's easier to record as a whole. So here are the facts about me that I put there. I am a Christian artist girl who is mixed race. My personality type is INTJ-G, which I know people say INTJs are mean, but I try to be nice. My IQ ranges from 102 to 113 because when I took it when I was feeling not very nice and very stressed and tired and hungry, it turned out to be 102. But when I took it when I was feeling a lot better, it turned out to be 113. Since it is on the lower side of average, you'll have to bear with me sometimes. I am an every animal person, which means I cannot decide which animal I like best, so therefore I like all of them. I am homeschooled, I am a Tails fan, and the reason I put Tails fan instead of Sonic fan is because I do not know how the Sonic series is going to go from now on, but I think I will still remain a Tails fan. I have no particular aesthetic because all the cute aesthetics do not like Sonic and only focus on one color palette, and I can't really find an aesthetic that really fits me, so I basically created my own. My favorite verse is Colossians 3 verse 23, and whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. I am not sure why I like that verse, but I just do. And for my negative qualities, I dislike loud noises, I hardly talk, I'm easily overstimulated, and I'm bad at deciding. So now I'm just designing my text sona, or whatever you'd like to call it. It's just text that I handwrite because I cannot accurately design a persona of myself. This is partially because last time I designed a persona and put it in a short, that video got reported for violating somebody's privacy. I don't know how that happened because I didn't put anything that could violate someone's privacy, not even my own, in that video. I guess it was because someone really disliked that I put a persona in my video or something that they decided to report it, because I have seen people threaten to do that in comment sections. But ever since then, I just decided to not do a persona. Who is my favorite to draw? I think we already know the answer to that question. How long do my drawings usually take? 7 to 11 hours. And to start YouTube, at first I did tutorials, but then I started posting about stuff that I was interested in, like, Speedpaint and just random art, and it eventually got more popular than my tutorials, so I stopped doing tutorials. And now I'm drawing Tails, so I'll answer the questions about him. So, embarrassing story. I realize now that it was more of a slow progression than, oh yeah, that one's suddenly my favorite. So my first ever impression, I was like 4 and I got Sonic Dash, which also answers another question, by the way, which was my first ever Sonic game. I was like, well, this is a cute character, but his design is very simple. But when I actually got to see his personality, I forgot how old I was at the time. In the game we were playing, he got everyone together for Sonic's birthday, which I thought was pretty nice, I can't really remember what else I thought of him, but then when I was around 11, I was playing this cat game with other people, but we had everyone being the exact opposite of cats, because there was someone role-playing as Tails, and I was role-playing as my OC Cinder Crystal, and me and that person, otherwise known as Cindy and Tails, became friends, and then we started making friends with everybody else, spreading joy, and that is what made me care enough to learn about him. So ever since then, I've kinda only been a Sonic fan for Tails, and by that I mean I will not leave the fandom unless they do something bad with Tails or Sonic. But so far I'm happy because the more I learn about Tails, the more I like him, and I hope it stays that way. And now I will take this time to answer your food questions. What is my favorite fruit? A highly debatable topic because as of now I'm still not sure if I have one or not. But for now, I'll say blueberries because although I barely eat them when we have them, I actually like them when I eat them, or at least because I don't remember ever having a bad experience eating blueberries. What is the best way to eat a potato? I would say baked with seasoning and butter or fried. And lastly, I love how you said and lastly in your comment when this is the last food question I'm answering. Apples or bananas? I prefer apples raw and bananas in baked goods, so in short, apples raw and bananas baked. And perfect timing because now I'm starting to draw my OC Pyroly, so now I'm answering the media questions. For anime, I'm not sure if this counts as an anime, but I occasionally watch the classic version of Superbook, which is a Japanese cartoon, so I guess it would count. It's an animated series where they time travel into the Bible. I'm sure you've heard of the newer 3D version. Well, this one has the same characters, but in a completely different style, and a slightly different writing style. It is geared towards children, so I'm not sure how you'd like that, but if you want to, you could check it out. And unfortunately, I'm not reading any webtoons or comics or anything as of now, so I don't have anything to recommend for that. So I actually had a lot of people ask this, and I missed a food question, so I'll just answer that real quick. My favorite food is fried chicken with stir-fry noodles with soy sauce and vegetables. But what a lot of people ask me is, do I like reading? And yes, I do like reading. In fact, I used to read a lot, especially for my schoolwork, and I think it's where I got my somewhat extensive vocabulary from. Dear book fans, I deeply apologize in advance of what I'm going to say. Am I into any books right now? No. Do I want to be into any books right now? I don't really think so. It's nice before bed, but for some reason, as of now, I would usually prefer something that I could do more hands-on. So now I can finally answer the last questions. What is my favorite movie and my favorite animated show? So, for my favorite movies, I guess I would say the Sonic movies because I haven't really seen anything lately. So, and I only like them for the animal characters. I do not like any of the people besides the ones who took them in. And for my favorite animated shows, I guess I would say both Superbooks and those little Sonic animated YouTube things, the official ones. And right now in the Speedpaint, I'm deciding who to draw there. So I got kind of frustrated, but eventually I just... So, now that I'm drawing Sonic, it's time to answer this question. Which one do I like more, Tails or Sonic? They are both my favorite characters, but to be honest, I like Tails a little bit more. But the only reason is because while I think of Sonic as like a friend, I think of Tails as like my child. I do not know how else to describe it. I mean, of course I care about Sonic too, because like if he's in pain or sad or something in a game, I'm gonna make him walk instead of run, or at least try my best to. Honestly, it's probably because I'm just a lot closer in age to Sonic than Tails. But the whole reason why they're both my favorite characters is because their dynamic is kinda rare to me. Like, they're friends of course, but Sonic literally raised Tails. So he sometimes acts like his parent, and since Sonic is like 7 to 10 years older than him, Tails calls him his big brother. So it is complicated, but whatever they are, they're family. And for some reason, I like that. And now since we have a little bit left, I'm going to be answering all the rest of the questions. What made me start YouTube? My brother actually made me start YouTube, and by the way, shout out to him, not Mo 4.0. Do I have any gaming consoles? Yes, I have Xbox and a Wii and a Switch. If I was teleported into a game, show, or book, which one would I choose and how would I act around the characters? Now, I would have a hard time choosing because it would be fun to adopt Sonic and Tails, but a lot of things happen there. And it's basically the same thing for every fictional world I know of, so I would probably choose my own. My favorite art supply would have to be pencils. My favorite YouTuber is like all of you guys' art channels because I can't really choose a favorite, and I like watching you guys' videos. And I am a morning and a night person because I honestly don't really like sleeping that much. In 1 year from now, I hope to see my art as more professional than I am now. My current art goal is for my art to look detailed, soft, fresh, and cute, which is what I'm kind of achieving now. As for pursuing art as a career, it would be nice to make money off the one thing I'm best at, but I am also satisfied with it remaining as a hobby because I don't really have my life planned out and I'm just trusting God for whatever I do next. But if I do go into it professionally, I would love to be an illustrator or a character designer. And although I used a few art exercise books, I am self-taught. My favorite art app is IbispaintX as it is the first one I started with, and I have one younger sibling, and thank you, I'm glad you think I'm amazing, but I don't exactly know how I am. I'm not sure where I'm going to live when I grow up, but I would most likely want to stay in our location at the time. At the present, my favorite OC to draw is Silka the cat. In general though, I honestly can't really choose a favorite. And for my favorite aesthetic, it would honestly probably be Yume Kawaii, because it's kind of the only aesthetic I've ever designed an OC based off of. But as I did say in the video earlier, I haven't been able to find an aesthetic that I can fit into. My first ever OC will actually be answered at the end of this video. The OC that's most like me is probably Quinn, because we are both kind of shy and we both like drawing. My favorite season is summer because I'm kind of cold, but I also like fall and spring. And I actually have two favorite school subjects, which are language and Bible. When I got tagged in this post thing, I decided I would answer these questions in this video. I answered the first one earlier, so my favorite video game is either Sonic the Hedgehog 3, one of the Sonic Advance games, or one of those dressing up games. And my favorite music genre is obviously Christian music, but also kawaii future bass, or just game style instrumental music basically. Speedpaint will be ending soon, but I have a new surprise Speedpaint at the end. So here's the finished drawing. I am not sure if I like it or not, but it's cool. And now for the question I was saving until now. Which was the first OC I've ever created? She is a puppy with a penguin hat that I creatively called Puppy Penguin. But don't worry, I'm naming her Flurries instead. I am drawing her like how I remember her, but I never had an official drawing of her, so this is just from my mind. I know I did add a few extra details though, like her different colored eyes and the pom-poms. So here she is, my first ever OC. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk for 14 minutes. Thank you guys for watching until the end. Bye!